Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on another episode of Fashion Let's Talk podcast. I am your host and fashion forecaster, Sharonda. And, I just want to start off being, truthful, transparent on everything that is going on in the fashion industry and what I predict is going to take place within the next year, 2 years, honestly, maybe with 5 years, because it's bad, y'all. It is so bad that I honestly don't even know what to say, because all I see is downhill from here. But I guess the good thing about it is you can only go up from here. If you're at the bottom, like the industry is, then you can only go up. But it's going to take a minute, because the same people and situations and mindsets that put us in this crazy situation have to be removed. And it's such a big machine being led by, some of the richest people. That is literally running the industry. So how do you remove them without breaking down the whole system? So that's where we are. So let's go into it. So much is happening right now. You have Donald Trump with all his tariffs going on and that are, affecting different countries in the fashion industry. Like he's breaking them down. It's so bad that, countries don't know to negotiate or retaliate, on the laws and tariffs that Donald Trump has put in place and have signed. It's a lot of greedy people in the world, but we're here to talk about the fashion part of it. And, greed, bad management, bad ownership, greed really, really has taken what was such a amazing industry to be a part of. It's finally tumbling down. It's so bad. We talked about, I would say probably within the last 6 months, about the shock of all of the different creative directors being pushed around and playing musical chairs. And side note, I hear a lot of you, influencers and YouTubers using that term that I came up with. It's okay to give me credit, but, the musical chairs, I came up with that. I said that, and I've observed a lot of different influencers using that to describe it. But how could you not? That's what they've been playing, and we've been talking about that repeatedly. But, it's not about the creative directors. It's not even just about Donald Trump. And I know that's hard for many of you to hear me say that, but I really do think that the gatekeeping that was going on for decades in the fashion industry and bad management that have been taking place for so long that this is the result. And honestly, I'm so shocked that it has taken this long to get to this point. I'm actually shocked because the way the industry system was being ran in the first place was exhausting. It was depressing. We're not going to even go into how depressing and stressful and so much unnecessary pressure that has been placed on designers to kick out different multiple collections within 6 months or a year. It was just barbaric, honestly, how these management companies had all of these, designers, honestly, feeling the pressure to produce and create a collection. So many different collections, so many different shows to be a part of and investing in. It created stress where, honestly, there was a lot of designers committing suicide. And they were trying to narrow it down to, they were drug and it was depression. But what was creating them to want to use the drug and go through a depression where they couldn't even enjoy what they love, which was designing? The creativity was not a factor anymore. And it was all about making money. It was all about raking up the prices. It was all about media. And it just became a circus, honestly, a shit show. That's the reality of it. And designers have suffered. And they've wasted a lot of time doing something that they didn't love anymore. Took away the whole beauty of what they came into this industry to do, which was design and be creative. And that was snatched from them because bad management and gatekeeping. Let's be real. We need a new group of creators, editors, owners with more youthful mindsets and not the old traditional way, because it doesn't work anymore. It really never worked. But when you create a system of ins and out platforms, it lasts decades. But the reality is the industry has to take accountability for destroying a beautiful industry. The gatekeeping with the houses, the management houses that own majority of all of these fashion brands, they became so greedy, where now I feel the consumers are fed the fuck up. They're done. They are done. They said we done been through the, cultural inappropriation moments. We done been through the racial moments. We let go of things where, but then you're, fast fashion, taking advantage of different countries and, wanting to be able to have, factories, manufacturing companies that are not really paying these countries the value of what the collections that mass production is producing. Some of these people are dying, buildings are dying. There's so many levels, that the fashion industry, sustainable fashion, just labor. It's so much that the fashion industry has been getting away with, and just, taking advantage of consumers and just continually to hike up the prices, continually to create negative environments, not connecting with the consumers who are investing in these brands, but just like more money, more races, be, and separate everyone, don't create diversity, it's so much, that the industry has failed. It has come to an end. And I really feel the only way to save it is getting rid of the old, like draining it out. No more gatekeepers, because you're only practicing the same system to survive. Yes, it is cute, and it's empowering to see a woman and having Anna Wintour, but goddamn, like how many years you're going to be holding that same seat and spot and not really bringing or allowing room for someone else to come in? Like, the gatekeeping got to stop. It's looking weird at some point, and I'm not rushing or age discriminating anyone. What I am saying is, y'all did not stay to bring something better. You only stayed to keep the same old bad rules in place. And here we are, where the industry is at rock bottom. And y'all just still sitting there in these seats. Old as fuck. Not, training for a new generation to come in and, practice a positive craft. And the reason why I feel you're not doing that is because there is no positive craft out of this. All of it was like a scam, like a Ponzi scheme. And if it's a Ponzi scheme and you're gatekeeping because you don't want no one to, one, stop your money, and then two, to be exposing you for being a crook and taking advantage of the consumers in the industry. So it is time for something new. We need a breath of fresh air, new energy, new clothes, new body, new face, new hair, like new business, new corporations, new board members. Everything and everyone from the past have to go. You have to go. Anna, you gotta go. All you old management companies, houses that are corrupting all of these fashion houses and jumping to grab and own them and can't bring anything of value to the table where they're growing, because a lot of them are falling or closing or ending. It's like, no, y'all not even trying to let brands or new brands get to a point where they can create a legacy, like a Dior or LV, or, you know what I mean? Like, that's the gag. They're not trying to allow new brands to create longevity. I feel like they feel like it's too expensive. Don't invest in longevity. That's what is really, messing up the industry. And as I'm talking, we may be onto something. This may be the secret dialogue that these fashion houses are really having, saying that, we are inquiring all of these small or other fashion houses to save the ones with some type of longevity. But you're crashing and you're killing all what is to come. or what is supposed to come just to preserve something that maybe really shouldn't last for a lifetime. And if you was motivated of having these crafts of art of, legacy, we're talking about design, fashion houses, big brand. If they were really interested in saving it, there will be training. There will be a new generation of people that you are, bringing up. It's like, even with them switching all of these creative directors, they're old. There's no diversity. There's a bunch of old white men, as these creative directors. You probably see 2 women, they're white as well. Where are more of the black designers? Where are more of the female designers? Female black designers? Female white designers? Where is the diversity? If everybody is so, into the LGBTQ and everything else, if they're so into that, where is the transgender designer? Where is the pet designers? Like, when I say diversity, I mean leave room and the door open for everyone. And that's why I say gatekeeping with these bad management failing all of these companies. They don't know what they're doing. All they know how to do is be greedy. And even that is not working because look where we are. Now, let's be real. Everybody, it was a time it was like, okay, they could depend on the urban market, the American market. They were going to invest in so much fashion. And then, they had so much shit going on that we boycotted so many different designers and moments that it was like, okay, China was the one still spending money. They was like, those are the ones that really spending money. We still got them. Whoo! Then China fell back like, Y'all got homeboy coming in, trying to play games with all these tariffs and stuff, and acting like we didn't put in some work to, be second on top. Oh, y'all think y'all bad? Now we're falling back. Now we're not shopping. Now all the rich in the different countries are not shopping luxury good. So you can create every luxury, core, quiet money, all of these fake trends that exist. It doesn't matter anymore. Who is the top designer? It doesn't matter anymore. Baby, New York Fashion Week is over. No one is doing New York Fashion Week at all. Let me tell you something I told y'all last year. I said everybody is not fucking with New York Fashion Week. Everybody heading to Paris. Sure enough, last Fashion Week, everybody was in Paris. Different feel, scary vibe for everybody at New York Fashion Week. Oh no. So they shut down New York Fashion Week. They just canceled British Fashion Week in June. First of all, let's talk about it shouldn't even been, but this is the calendar. That's what I mean, gatekeeping. You and your calendars. Calendars getting small. What are they trying to do? And let me tell you something. These fashion houses, these ateliers, these house brands, LVMH, Carrington, all of them, they fucked up the industry. They destroyed it being greedy. No one is shopping anymore. Everyone feel like everything is a dupe. It's like it's fake. It's counterfeit. Everything. The tote bags, not even worth. Leather, LV is not even leather goods, like the best leather. Where's the craftsmanship? No one is investing in any of that. But then you want people to pay $10,000 for this, and you want to continue to rake up the prices? Oh, listen to me. Don't be fooled when they are throwing y'all all of these different distractions. Oh, we're going to be cutting down. We're not going to be doing New York Fashion Week. We're not going to be doing British Fashion Week. Oh, we're only really going to be doing Paris Fashion Week. Watch. But wasn't that how it started? And that's what Bernard, who owns LVMH, that's his whole goal. He's trying to make Paris take over the fashion industry. He is like ours. Many years ago, we allowed the Americans to come over and showcase they had a little talent. But the reality is, we set this shit off. That's what they're trying to say. They're trying to say, if you want to be a part of the fashion industry, you better be starting in Paris. They taking all that money. That's what their goal is. But the energy was so corrupt and so manipulative that we're here today and everything has failed. Now people is looking at India to be the third economy to take over on the level that the U.S. and China did. It's so deep that it's deep and it's sad, but I feel good because it needed to happen. And when I say it needs to happen, it needs to happen for us to be cleansed of all of the negative, bad management and all of the negative gatekeeping. We really need to be cleansed of all of that because these people have destroyed the energy just because of greed. And they did not care about what the long-term effects would be. Some of them feel like, listen, I'm just trying to create a legacy for my family. Hence, Bernard. I'm trying to get it to a point where I have something to practice nepotism with and continue my legacy, my family legacy. That is the goal. That is the goal. So what do? Clean house. You got to get rid of the bad energy and mindset of who's been running this industry. A lot of people suffered. It's all a game. It's all like a Ponzi scheme, honestly. But the reality is just don't play it and stay focused and stay true to you. Stay true to your art. The love that you have for doing what you want to do in this industry. But, be very distant to those who give off the energy of gatekeeping because they are trying to keep in place of all things that does not work. And we don't need any of that. This moment in time in the fashion world reminds me of when all of New York clubs start to close down and disappear. It was just like you knew what club was popping, what club to go to, and then there was no club. And at first, she was probably thinking like, "Oh, I was just getting mature, so I wasn't really going out." You had nowhere to go. Clubs were gone. the way people start partying changed, and it served no purpose. The prices was going up, the insurance, all of this bad management, corruption to the fullest. And it destroyed a New York scene that many wish they could have experienced, and many miss the whole experience. But that's the same thing in Fashion Week. So honestly, guy, I say all of this to say the industry is not the same. The gatekeeping and bad management and greed destroyed the fashion industry. It's not just a Trump thing. It's a greedy thing. It's a gatekeeping thing. It is a really bad management and HR thing. Somebody has to pay for destroying the fashion industry. And New York, what do we do? What do we do? Well, that's all I have to say, guys. And thank you for listening to me as I go through this really sad moment in time. Fashion industry was my baby. And it just feels like it's over. It was a time. It was a moment that is no longer. So I'm a little sad. But I still feel good because I feel like there's hope. But it's hope if we just expose those who set this tone and who've been putting a lot of effort into keeping it the way it is, even with it having so much proof that it doesn't work. So thank you guys, and listen in. Please subscribe, leave a comment. We will be having some examples of different designers who feel the same, who is just so frustrated. You can see them and see some of, the vibe that we've been observing, and which broke down this whole forecast for you. You can find all of that on our Fashion Lust podcast on Instagram. Also, our YouTube channel on Fashion Lust Talk podcast, and Facebook also, Sharonda. You can find me there, where we'll be just showcasing all of the different examples of what we've been talking about, what destroyed the fashion industry. Bye, guys. Enjoy.